All right, man. Let's take a deep breath. Breathe Better with Wasim. Another video. It's been a while, but there's a reason. I haven't been struggling enough. As you can tell by the title of this video, there's a couple of different conclusions that I've come to in the past couple weeks to a month or so. And, it's basically boils down to not taking shortcuts and just understanding what it is you want out of life and embracing that struggle, right? So I've been reading this book, Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fluke. Don't want to cuss too early in the algorithm, but or in the video for the algorithm. But in that book, they basically said, life is a struggle. You got to pick one, right? No matter what you decide to do, it's going to be difficult, especially if you want to be successful at it. There's a lot of trials and tribulations that we all have to go through to reach our end goals. So I just wanted to tie that into how it affects my life and, where I'm currently at and how that mantra affects my day-to-day. So I got some notes here. I just wanted to start off by saying this YouTube video itself, I had to struggle to wake up and find that motivation. I know I was consistent making these videos about a month ago, and then I haven't posted in like 2 weeks, right? So that's the struggle within itself. You want to be a YouTuber, you have to embrace the struggle of figuring out what you want to talk about, how it's going to impact your audience, and how it's supposed to help you develop personally, how it's supposed to develop myself, right? So that's just me embracing that struggle. I felt motivated. I'm on my lunch break from work right now, and I was like, you know what, I need to get off my ass and put some work in and talk to these people, right? Because I know that it benefits me, so that I know it'll benefit you guys as well. So for example, right, you want to join the NBA, you want to be a basketball player, you want to hoop. That's a struggle. You have to wake up early, you got to go to practice, you got to play comp, you got to be nice, you got to practice, you got to work every day. There's literally no shortcuts to make the NBA. You just have to be the best of the best, right? And whether that's business or school or family, you have to pick that struggle, right? Or the music, if you want to be an artist, you got to pay for studio time. You got to put your money where your mouth is. You got to practice performing. You got to be, you got to have a stage presence, and you have to rap good. You got to make good music, right? So that's just all in that struggle, right? And I think the main takeaway for me is like, no matter what you do in life, it's going to be a struggle no matter what. Even if you are paying bills, you make your whole life about paying bills, just going to work just so you can survive. That is a struggle. Even if you don't want to do anything extracurricular like music, art, or start your own business, I feel like if you choose not to do those things, then your main struggle in life is just going to be paying those bills, right? You got to pay the rent, but you got to first do what you want to do first. I don't want to tell you what to do, but if you are like me and you want to be a YouTuber, you have to figure out the best times to post. You have to study the algorithm. You have to have good content, right? So that's all a struggle in itself, and just embracing that struggle instead of trying to take a shortcut, or instead of trying to find an easy way out, or someone to put you on game, or just put you on, that's not going to get you where you need to be. You need to embrace the struggle, put your foot on the gas and make shit happen for yourself. That's the whole point of this video, right? So I want to be successful in business. Some things that I need to struggle with and embrace the struggle of are time management, right? Networking, finding the time to make these type of videos, putting myself out there in the right space at the right time, and having my personal pitch of what it is I want to do and how I can contribute to someone's company, or how I can sell myself to another person, basically, right? Making these videos, using LinkedIn, all these type of things are things that I need to become. Basically, you've heard the saying, become comfortable being uncomfortable, right? If you want to be a good student, right, you have to embrace that struggle. You have to go to office hours. You have to talk to your classmates. You can't expect to be a good student if you don't do these things. If you don't struggle, then you're just coasting. That's one of my main takeaways too in this life. If you don't pick a struggle, then you're just gonna coast and survive. right? That's not what we want to do. We don't want to be on survival mode 24/7. We want to have an end goal that we work towards and figure out what it is we need to do to get there, right? And that involves a struggle. So I actually just recently went to a guest speaker. Paris is his name. He works at Bloomberg. He just graduated from San Francisco State University, and he had a great speech. He saved some time for Q&As at the end, but my main takeaway from that speech was to just figure out what it is you want, because there's a lot of mental blockades that go on before you should join your career path, right? So he said, find yourself, do some meditation, figure out what you want, so that when struggles do come, you have the mental perseverance or you have the mental strength to persevere, because you understand, hey, this is not going to be easy. I know that I have to do XYZ to get to this point. So I chose this path for myself, so I have to deal with the consequences of choosing this path. You could choose to, do something that's relatively easy, right? You could be, you could just decide to coast. And if that's what you want to do, that's perfectly fine. But even with that, there's still some struggles that come along that you have to deal with. And one of those could be money issues. If you decide to coast or you don't push yourself further, you could encounter some issues down the line because you didn't push yourself, whether that's illness, you didn't exercise, your body becomes weak. Those are the consequences of your actions too. So I prefer if you set some high goals for yourself, just so you have that work ethic and you have something to work towards, right? And then even making this video, I don't have to make these YouTube videos, right? I could coast, I could just go to work and go home every day, right? But I choose to create content, to figure out what it is I want to post, and just provide that for you guys because it's beneficial for me, and I know it's beneficial for you as well. Back to business, right? I don't have to go to class. I don't have to do extra classes. I already got my college degree, and guess what? I'm still learning, right? I'm always learning. That's the main thing. I am taking an optional free class, right? It's called Co-op Careers. They teach me business development. They teach me how to do cold calls, and I already have a job in sales. But I'm taking the extra step to, continue striving, to keep learning. And this is an additional struggle, 12 hours a week on top of my 40-hour work week that I did not need to pursue. But I know myself, and I know how beneficial that is for me. And the path that I want for myself is, business success. So this is the struggle that I'm going through currently to benefit myself. So just an example for you guys, the YouTube channel, the optional classes that take 12 hours out of my week on top of my job. These are all things that I do optionally because I know that it's going to benefit me and optimize my maximum potential in this world, right? So these are just things that I've been thinking about. I know I'm talking fast and kind of like, you can tell I'm passionate about this one because the grind never stops. We got to keep going. This life, we all aim for a nice vacation at the end of this life, or retirement. But even then, man, I still want to keep learning, keep pushing myself, and I hope you guys too, man. This life that we live it's ever continuous, ever flowing. We're always meeting new people, learning new things, experiencing new experiences. So if you stop and you try to find a shortcut, I want you to ask yourself, what are you trying to find a shortcut for? Do you just want to be on eternal vacation, just rotting away? Because I've heard that people, once they retire, their brain function like literally rots away because they're not exercising your brain's a muscle, right? You got to flex that muscle. You got to learn new things. If you got nothing else to do, you're not going to try to learn Spanish, right? I work in the construction industry. There's a lot of Spanish speakers. I live in California. There's a lot of Spanish speakers. Stuff like that motivates me in itself, like just my location alone, right? I want to learn Spanish. ¿Cómo estás? How you doing? So let's figure it out. Let's get to that bag. Let's motivate ourselves. Let's wake up. Let's have a purpose and find your struggle and stick to it, man. I'm gonna leave you out with that. Make sure you subscribe. 10K Kwesi. Breathe better with Wasim. Coming different this year, all right? Be smooth, y'all.